Hello, Narayani Wisdom Wellness members, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2015. You've probably already seen Andy's video about what's going on astrologically this year, which is really exciting. And it kind of, for me, underscores the opportunity that we have to really take care of ourselves as well as we can so that we can benefit from all the opportunities coming up. So this is January. And we are now in the season of Kapha. The last few months we were talking about Vata, which was a different season, and it was a season that was cold and dry. We're now in Kapha season, which is cold and damp. So even here in Florida, we're having some Kapha weather right now. Nothing like the rest of the country, I'm sure, but it's pretty chilly and damp here today. And so the balancing qualities for us during Kapha season that we'll be talking about for the next few months are drying, heating, and stimulating. And so what that's going to look like for us in terms of foods is that this is really the best time of year to eat things that are spicy. And so today I'm going to be talking about balancing Kapha with a bit of an emphasis on the whole question of detoxing, because we've just finished up the holidays, of course. And last month I was, encouraging everyone to approach the holidays from a perspective of self-love, which sometimes carries a little indulgence with it. And now we're kind of in the phase after that we want to clean up our acts again a little bit. So that's one of the things about Kapha season is that we do very well with hot spices. And one of the great things about hot spices is that they support our digestive fire, which from an Ayurvedic perspective is one of the best ways that we can help the body detox, because a lot of toxification builds up because our digestive fire is not burning well enough, and that allows toxins to build up in the cells. So eating spicy food, for those of you that like spicy food, this is really the time to do that. And the other tastes in our foods that are lightening and balancing and detoxing for Kapha are bitter and astringent tastes. Bitter is found in almost anything green and leafy. Probably notice that when you do things like green juices or eat green vegetables. There's a lightening, cleansing effect. And the astringent taste is the one that's kind of dry and puckery on the tongue, like honey, that I'll be mentioning in a little bit, and walnuts, that kind of drying astringent taste, also really helpful. So I've included on the website for you a couple of recipes that are Kapha balancing and detoxing, and one of them I'm really happy to share. It's the first time we'll be talking about this on our series. It's a recipe for an Ayurvedic dish called khichdi, which is spelled a few different ways. I spell it Kitchari. You can Google it. Khichdi is a simple stew of mung beans and basmati rice that is kind of, I call it the quintessential Ayurvedic dish. It can be made with many variations to balance the doshas. And the version that I've offered you this month is a Kapha balancing version that has spinach or some other greens in it and some spices that are warming and heating, as we've been talking about, like cinnamon and cumin and ginger. So it's really pretty easy to make. I hope you enjoy that. And the other recipe I've included is a kind of detox Kapha balancing tea that's really easy, that has in it ginger and lemon and honey. And honey, even though it's sweet, has an astringent quality. So it's actually the substance in Ayurveda that's particularly balancing for Kapha. So even though we're kind of in a cleanse, we still do get to have a little bit of sweetness, which is always nice. So some of the other things that I would mention that would be balancing and detoxing for you at this time of year, this one I think you'll really like if you have access to it, is Asana. Sauna is drying and heating, and it actually has an aerobic effect. It actually burns calories, believe it or not, by the body dealing with the dry heat. So if you have access to that, being able to use that kind of heat and encourage perspiration is a very good way to detox. I've included some tips on our Facebook page about a wonderful bath with Epsom salts and lavender and baking soda. That's another nice little detox, warming, heating thing for us. And in general, the style that I would encourage us to be eating at this time for balancing Kapha and detoxing are foods that are light and drying and warming. So we probably want to be avoiding things like dairy products and too much meat, because those are heavy and rich, and we kind of had lots of rich, heavy stuff last month. So happy January. I look forward to seeing you again next month, where we'll be talking more about balancing for the season. And we wish you well, and namaste.